It is the Riot.
Welcome to the podcast today. Hopefully everybody's doing well. You're middle of the week, so we're making our way through this podcast.
I know it's not true, and I know I've said things like this before, but I'm fairly certain that I've lived an entire lifetime in the last 2 weeks.
I feel like Monday and Tuesday was especially a lot to handle. So now, like I felt yesterday was a little bit more normal.
Dude.
But I don't know,
it
today.
It wasn't for me, but
yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm hoping for today. Like, I can't, like, I'm not sleeping right. Oh my gosh.
Did you forget to tell something?
No, listen, I had a dream last night.
Yeah.
That I had a dream that I was giving a press conference where I was explaining how to use vMix. vMix is just
a program
it's a streaming software. I did. I had a dream I was giving the press conference.
That's a work dream.
That's a work dream.
You're doing that for
I'm
work.
giving a
You're
press
stressed.
conference.
Well, you know enough about it, I guess.
First, you want to make sure that you change the input. Is everybody changing it? All right.
Well, we don't talk more about that in this podcast, so
in
that's just a little extra bonus you get.
So weird. I just remember like waking up and being like, what am I doing?
Why am I having this dream?
So, okay, in the podcast, we do talk about, a little virus stuff here and there, some toilet seat licking.
Let's just talk about, it's TikToking, okay?
Okay, TikToking. We talk PS5. No, we don't have the details, but we do tell you how to get them.
And by the time you're probably hearing this podcast,
they may be everywhere.
The PlayStation 5 details will be out and about.
Yeah, dude, I am really looking forward to hearing about that. What else do we talk about? I don't even remember.
Let's make it a surprise.
You know what? We got stuff going on. I haven't built the podcast yet.
He doesn't have the list yet.
So you guys just enjoy it. Whether I have the list to read to you now or not, it's still happening.
There's still going to be a podcast in a second. Don't forget to text us, 877-2RADIO-U. You can do that. As a podcast listener, just put your name that you listen to the podcast. And if you find a story you want us to cover, or if you want us to say hello to you, just put that there.
Here he is. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great day.
See you soon.
Wait,
bye.
Bye, buddy.
Hope you find your dad.
Bye.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Did you see what Jerome texted?
No.
He said, wait, you're going to the doctor? Are you okay?
No, you're just saying Dr. Pepper.
He came in the middle of that discussion, and
only heard part of it.
When I said that I was looking forward to spending time with the doctor, I was talking about Dr. Pepper.
No, not like actually going to the doctor. So no need to worry.
And then Brian, Nikki, he says, went to Target looking for toilet paper, but instead found Fruit Loop Pop-Tarts.
Hey!
And that's not a waste.
You know, you look for, is it the rainbow in the clouds?
That's right.
Is that it?
Every raindrop means a rainbow.
Yeah, and so for this, it's a fruit-flavored one.
They smell and taste just like Fruit Loops. They are great until after the fourth bite, and then it just becomes too much.
Brian's in Florida. It's kind of like we tried the Pop-Tart pretzel ones.
Pop-Tart pretzels?
Remember the pretzel Pop-Tarts?
No, okay. Yes. You're right. Here's where I got my wires crossed. I thought you were saying that we had
pretzels that taste like
Fruit Loops.
No.
I was just like, man, I don't remember eating a pretzel that tasted like a Fruit Loop.
When did I have those? No,
we do that.
We had the pretzel Pop-Tarts that were, I think it was like a chocolate flavor, and there was a cinnamon or a sugar one. And those were okay.
We also had the Hardee's Carl's Jr. Fruit Loop Donuts.
No, those were years ago, yeah. But
that was last year.
We had those last year? No, we had those a long time ago. They came back out last year, but we had them when they were testing them. We might have eaten them again, but do you remember had them?
I just remember Nick brought them, and I was just like, oh, no.
Those are actually pretty good, I thought. They really did taste a lot like Fruit Loops.
No, they spot on tasted like Fruit Loops.
So for this, we'll have to look for the Pop-Tarts.
All right, they're out there somewhere. I did go to the store yesterday.
How was it?
You know what? I went to a Costco. It was okay.
Is it efficient?
It was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, like they had you like lining up and doing this and doing that. It was a little intense. Like there were some people with carts and then other people that are trying to run around you because you have a cart.
Like it's a grocery store game show.
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
I felt like that a couple of times where I was just like, do you have a 60-second clock that I don't know about that I can't see somewhere?
Where are you going? What are you doing?
And I know that I bought things that I would never buy in the middle of it all, just out of the craziness. So, I bought...
You feel like you just can't walk around, and look at all the new things.
I was like, okay, I bought some disinfecting wipes or whatever, and I kind of didn't want them by the time I got to the end of the store, but then it was like, I guess I'll just get them.
You should have just told the cashier person.
I probably should have, but I was just like, whatever. Because then here's my thought when I got home. I was like, there's nobody here. I wash my hands when I come in, but nobody else is left because my roommates are in education, so they don't have to work. And it was like, we don't need disinfecting wipes.
But you felt like you had to get some.
I felt like I had to have them.
That or paper towels or toilet paper.
I also bought paper towels.
Or water.
And in case. In fairness, we were out of paper towels, and I was like, yeah, I'm here. People are killing each other for paper towels. I might as well get some. So I bought some, and then when I got them home, it was like, dude, this is a 3-year supply of paper towels. I will be...
But everybody's home more, so it'll go faster than you think.
Maybe.
I think it's different.
Maybe I made a great choice, but when I got done and I got loaded up, I was like, I don't know if I actually needed a single thing I bought here. Yeah, I did. Okay. Paper towels, sure. Disinfecting wipes, I guess. What else did I buy? I'm having toast this morning. I bought stuff for toast.
He got that. He's fine.
I did. But man, I sure didn't get any Fruit Loop Pop-Tarts.
It's just, it's different now. It's different to go in.
Man, I can't be trusted to go to the store
Brian,
anymore.
you never told us, though, because he was going in looking for toilet paper.
Did you get the toilet paper?
Well, it says, but instead found. So does that mean you never found the toilet paper?
I'll tell you what, there wasn't any at Costco yesterday. In fact, they had a big whiteboard out front that was like, here are the things we don't have. I was like, oh, well, I wasn't going to buy those, but now I feel like I really need them.
I thought the toilet paper would be back by now.
The Riot is to your ears what all those energy drinks are to your liver.
For the love of God, please stop. I can only process so much.
The Riot, RadioU.
We've talked about it before, man. The internet is responsible for making it weird or taking what we knew was weird and making it kind of normal. It's done a lot of damage, Nikki, but the Riot's done a lot of good.
Wait a minute.
The Riot's done a lot of damage.
What have we done?
Are we talking about the internet or the Riot? Maybe it's the same thing.
What is this really about?
I'll tell you what it's really about. I just want to talk about the fact that you think you've heard everything, and then the internet's like, nah.
Hold my browser.
Hold my browser, bro.
I got this.
Trending on Twitter right now. Hashtag...
What is it?
Release the butthole cut.
What is that?
That's what I thought. I was like, I don't know.
Can you click it?
I don't know if I want to know what this is. So apparently, you know how Cats came out in theaters, the movie?
Yeah.
Apparently, all the characters in Cats had an anatomically correct cat-like...
bottom hole?
Bottom hole.
Okay.
And I don't know.
You're telling me, did they take them out?
I don't know if this is real, but they say that there was a team of visual effects artists that were hired right before release to go through and digitally remove...
That section?
Uh-huh. Because the first reactions of people seeing it were like, why
is that there?
Guys.
They had a lot of problems like that with the movie.
They had a lot of problems. And so it's especially funny to me because, of course, again, you may not be familiar, but a hashtag that I see popping up from time to time is Release the Snyder Cut, which is people asking for the Zack Snyder version of Justice League.
So now for this one, they want to see this.
Release the butthole cut.
For the movie Cats.
I can't.
Which maybe they could, because Cats did so bad. Maybe it would help out.
Give Dude, it's so fun just to scroll through. Give the people what they want.
No, they don't.
Woke up, dude, here it is. Woke up from like a 2-hour nap. See release the Butthole Cat trending. I'm daring to watch this.
You know, it makes you want to go on Twitter and use the hashtag.
It's some of the just GIF reactions. Like, here is, who's the guy that hosts Family Feud?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. Just him with hashtag release the Butthole Cut. What's wrong with you? Yes.
Yes, what's wrong?
Yes. Like,
Well, look at that. There's something fun today.
it's so... Guys, the internet's weird, okay? And we're getting weirder.
Is it weird or was the movie weird too?
No, all of it.
Does it all work
Our
together?
society is getting stranger and stranger. And somebody needs to just stop.
And someone needs to release that version. Well, I just want to know
No, I don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it?
Okay, I feel like if you had showed me the original, like, visual effects idea, like, I'd be like, you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and get rid of the Let's just cut to
But I think it all looked weird, probably. We didn't see it, so.
You know, Nikki, I think I quote Star Trek 6, which was quoting something else, I think. But, you know, just because we can do a thing
doesn't mean
we should do a thing.
Which sounded like a cat. Meow. I'm not sure.
You haven't gone over to their side, have you?
I don't know, apparently.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I would, if I were you, find someone that you trust. And not just like anybody. I mean, somebody that you really trust. And you need to give them your credit cards and all of your passwords. And you're like, well, why? Because, man, I'm telling you, they're starting this stuff where they're like, stuck at home, here's your sale. And they're starting to sell stuff that you're going to be like, you know what?
I don't know.
You know what? I deserve this. Things are tough out there. I'm going to get this right now. GameStop's doing a buy two, get two.
Or is that what you're looking at?
Is it?
I don't know.
Yes.
Is it?
It is.
So what are you looking at?
And I'm just like, you know what? I just put them on order. And they could just hand them. Maybe they could put them out the slot to me. Just like hand them out. Like,
well,
here, have yourself.
Can they ship them to you or?
Sure they can. Nikki, I don't need a game, let alone 4 games.
Well, has there been something that you've been wanting to?
No,
I mean, everybody's
That's
at home now more, which is what everybody's going to say.
It's what everybody
to
says.
justify it.
And then that's how you end up with stuff you not even don't need. You don't even actually want it. Like, you don't want it. I'm looking at this like, yeah, I could really use a copy of Dead or Alive 5 from when it launched. Like, do you like that game? No,
not really.
No, but it'd be nice to have it around just in case I decided I wanted to play Mortal Kombat 4.
Do you think there'll be a Steam sale in the summertime or something? Maybe you should just wait till then.
Oh, Nikki, of course I'm on Reddit, and one of the things in one of the Reddit forums I'm in is like, it says stuff like Steam sale now. People are like lobbying.
They're calling to have a Steam sale now.
They are lobbying Steam to have a sale now so you can buy stuff because, you know, you're going to be home. Aaron just said, it's true. I spent 45 minutes browsing junk at Kohl's yesterday before I came to my senses. It's real. Earlier this morning, I use a Samsung Galaxy Tab at home. It's one of the ways I prep the Riot every day. And I was on it and I was like, man, this thing is just busted. And it is. I'm having trouble with it. It's an older tablet. And I was like, I should buy a new one. So I'm looking at iPads last night. And I'm like, what are you doing? You spent the money. Like, I bought computer parts. There's no money. There's no PlayStation fund. There's no iPad fund.
But now that you're at home for more time, everybody's going to start analyzing, you know, like your TVs.
Stupid stuff.
Your consoles, the movies that we're buying, just because you want something.
Yeah, don't. Just stop right now. Like, especially, here's another trap you got to look out for. If you're, you know, things are going on, you're not really sure about your, like, your job situation, and you're like, well, might as well do it now. Don't
wait a minute.
Don't.
Otherwise, everybody's going to have a lot of debt coming out of this summer.
Don't. Like, just
wait a minute.
I know. Let me be clear. I'm not on a pedestal talking down to you. I am embracing you.
Holding you up.
With a social distance side hug, all right?
No, it's a foot thing, remember?
Yeah, because I just want you to know that I am dumb enough to have this problem.
So did you close out?
I'm introducing some accountability. Yeah, I'm going to close out. I will, but I haven't.
Wait, now I thought I heard you say you did, and now it's you will. So why don't you just close out right now?
Okay.
Let's do it together.
All right.
Click.
1, 2, click.
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 Did you click?
Of course I did.
Okay, because we're not lying in this room. It's not going to help.
This whole show is a lie.
As I'm over here ordering stuff. It's fine.
I'm just trying to help.
Everybody's fine. We're not worried yet.
Be careful.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then, they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Let's just stretch it out.
Big stretch. Everybody stretch now.
How you feeling?
Are you
Everybody?
good?
Everybody good? Yeah.
Did you get dizzy or are you all right?
No, I feel good. The dizzy stretch is like if it's a real particular. That wasn't one.
Sometimes when you stand and you stretch too, you get dizzy.
Yeah. So let's face it. A lot of us right now are having our lives messed with in ways we don't want our lives messed with. How about you have 60 minutes to clear out your dorm room and you can't come back? I was talking to somebody yesterday. They were like, they didn't take it very seriously.
And then they got the notice.
Yeah.
Some only got 30 minutes.
I saw that. Like, how can you be expected to move out of anything in 30 minutes?
Unless it was just an order that they had no choice, like the school itself.
I know, but like
you let it go that far, give them another hour, but it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's over. Like, what can you do?
It's fine. It's
But
fine.
can we
Whatever.
just treat people with just a little bit more respect?
But I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Like a lot of us are facing life altering things that we had no control over, no say in, and no anything. Like a job that's not there anymore because the business had to close. A room that's not there anymore because the dorm is closing. And the list just goes on and on of all these things that are happening to us. And hey, if you're looking for a way to cope in some way just because you're devastated, all I can say is I feel you. I get it. Like the idea of like just anything to feel better short term. But man, you got to be careful with that because right now when your world feels out of control and you're spinning, this is a great time to do some things you're really going to regret later. Like for me, it's a buy two, get two. For you, it could be others. Could be something else. And so here's what I found is that when a lot of the things that I put a lot of my stock in are being taken away from me or shaken up, I realize that I've got to find something that can't be taken away from me, that can't be shaken up. And I have absolutely found that in a relationship with Jesus, knowing that even if they take my dorm away, even if they take my job away, no matter what it is that can't, like in this mess that's happening, that God can't be taken away from me. God is always with me, and God is always working to bring something good to me in the middle of these really difficult circumstances. I'm not saying, believe me, the last thing I'm trying to do is put a positive spin on some really ugly things. But what I do want you to know is that you don't have to walk around in the dark, and you're not walking around alone. God is going to help you. I'm not saying that what's happening is something to be excited about, but I'm saying you're not alone and that you're going to be okay and that God is going to help you. Just ask him. If you don't have a relationship with God, it's time to get into something that can never be shaken, that can never be taken from you. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. I feel like my life's falling apart. I need something, God. I need you. Man, let God move in. And I'll tell you something else. Talk to him and don't pull any punches. You can talk to Jesus about anything. If you are furious, talk to him about it. If you are scared, talk to him about it. Get it out there. You don't have to carry this by yourself.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Just when you thought things couldn't possibly get any better, they just did. The people at Hostess.
These look so good.
Man, guys, they're doing the Lord's work. They are.
Hostess brought out their cereals last year. So we had...
They were all right.
They were okay. But this looks so much next level that I'm in.
Dude, so you know how you can get a Frappuccino, like a Starbucks Frappuccino, but get it at the gas station in
the glass bottle.
Mm-hmm. Well, think that, but they're iced lattes from the Hostess company. So you've got Twinkie flavored iced latte.
Snowballs.
They can keep those. I don't like those.
I love honey buns.
But you actually do.
Ooh, yeah.
Or the Ding Dong iced latte. That's the one I want right there.
I'll take that one, too.
That's the one I want right there.
So they're now apparently, they're all distributed nationwide. So you just have to find them.
Yeah, they say they're out there in the wild. You know where a lot of times Hostess stuff goes first, or at least this is what I hear from other people that waste their lives searching stores for foods like this.
Not that that's us. That's not.
It is.
No, shh.
Is that this can be found at Dollar General.
Oh, really?
Well, that's what I heard. And I'll tell you why. Because like when I couldn't find the Hostess ice cream anywhere, Dollar General.
They had that there?
Yeah, Nikki. So when you
find yourself
asking, what does a general do
when he stops being a general? He goes and drinks this.
He goes and has himself a Ding Dong iced latte.
Oh, like the game is like how it's all sugar. It's just all delicious, delicious sugar.
Oh, I don't.
It looks so good.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
So there's the iced lattes from Hostess, again, in like a glass bottle, like the Starbucks glass bottle drinks. But this one there's Ding Dongs, honey buns, snowballs, and Twinkies.
So, well, maybe, you know what? Nikki, why don't you go see if you can find these today? I'll let you go from store to store, waiting in lines. Everybody's there. They're in line for toilet paper.
Mean.
They're in line
Why
for
would
paper
you send
towels.
Me?
They're in line for bread. And Nikki's like, yeah, hey,
do you have the drinks?
Do you guys have honey bun iced lattes here?
No, I don't want to be that person. I'm going to see if it's on Amazon.
Hey, this store sucks.
I start breaking everything.
Like, keep your freaking toilet paper.
I don't want to go into stores. I wonder how that will affect. We were talking off air how I don't think fast food places are going to do a lot of special or interesting items right now because at least in our area you can only drive through. And so for this, if you're into the grocery store, people aren't going in unless you have to.
Drive through for the all-new McKetchup. It's a ketchup packet with the McDonald's logo on it.
I don't think that's it.
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. If anybody in the middle of clawing their way to toilet paper has seen...
I don't see them on Amazon yet.
A Hostess iced latte drink, please tell us where they are because...
With a strong emphasis on the honey bun or the Ding Dong ones.
That's what we're looking for.
I'm fascinated by the snowball one, but the others...
I think snowballs are some of the coolest looking Hostess confections.
They just don't
They're
taste...
also terrible.
They don't taste as good as you think they will.
No, when I look at them, I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
What are you?
Look what man hath wrought.
And then you're like, I spit you out.
Who's the dummy that thought putting coconut on this was a good idea?
And, of course, the Twinkie flavor. So there's that, too. We're never going to find you guys. You look so good.
You know what? We got to start hitting gas stations as soon as the show's over. Let's go.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's the Riot on Radio U.
We gotta do it again.
Another stretch.
I like stuff that's for kids. That's what I like. I want toys, video games,
ding dong, drinks,
Twinkies.
At least it's a latte, so I think there's something.
They're putting an adult spin on it at least.
We're not proud.
But, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was a thing. We all have Postit Notes, right? I mean, maybe you don't, but man, I have Postit Notes everywhere. I've got a planner. The Postit Notes are like, please look at your planner. And then the planner's like, write Postit Notes. So, I mean...
Well, Postit Notes are good to help you remember, and you can even use them in your planner. You just, stick them on there.
Sure. Well, Nikki, this is supposed to be for kids, but I'm in love. Look, it's a Melissa and Doug scratch art box.
Oh, really?
Okay, now it's got 125 little notes in it. Do you remember in like art where you would get that black piece of paper and then you would use the scratch thing and
Yeah,
underneath,
to scratch it off.
It's
Our
those.
early scratchers.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, they were training us for lottery days.
Yes, they were.
It's those.
Yeah.
But you can write on it, and they're little. So, like, they're Post-it note sized.
Doesn't this seem like a lot of work to scratch off for
You know
the
what?
Post-it note?
I can't hear you right now.
La.
I can't hear you right now.
And they're messy.
I can't hear you right
just
now.
spit on this.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong is we have things to do. We can't be scratching our Post-it notes.
You know what? You're not going to like this.
What?
But you earned it.
What? Oh.
You earned it.
Yeah, whatever. I'm taking it. Get on. No, actually, I'll take this one.
You're the one that's on the freaking failboat, bro.
This is not efficient.
With your stupid scratchers. Hey, I just dropped $50 in a scratcher and won $2.
It's like,
I'm a winner.
Here, let me make a note for myself, and 30 minutes later, you're all done scratching your Post-it note. I don't see this as being good.
I'll tell you this. I'll remember it for sure.
I bet, because it's going to be
so much
ingrained
work
in you.
into it that I'm going to absolutely remember it.
I just see this as being a bit of a waste, but that's fine if you want to.
What is wrong with you?
What?
How can you say that? That's awesome.
How can you not say that?
Don't you want to sit down and scratch out something fun?
No.
What if
I think we're beyond that.
What if I left you a note that said, Nikki, you're the best, but instead of it just being a cheap old Post-it note, you look down and it's rainbows and stars and all these colors, and I've scratched it out. To be clear, I've never left Nikki a note like that, but if I did, wouldn't it be wonderful?
Now's the time,
wouldn't
isn't
it be wonderful?
Seems like challenge accepted over there, right? Go get yourself some of these.
Well, no, you told me how dumb it was, so I just won't buy one. So there we go. Let me put it in next week. Like, Nikki doesn't need encouraged.
I get a normal Post-it note with just a frowny face on it.
And
no,
then
no note with it, just that.
No, with an arrow that says you.
Well, fine with me.
I enjoy it. I look forward to it.
Normally, I want you guys to think and feel like I respect most things, but this isn't it.
Okay, all right.
This seems like a waste of time, but it is only $8.
A waste of time.
If you need it for Post-it notes.
That, like, Nikki and I, if she had said a waste of money, we would have laughed it off and bought it. But that's not what she said.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
It's even worse than that.
It's so much worse than wasting money.
If you promised me you had practical, normal Post-it notes and this, then that would be fine. Because then that way, you had to leave a note, you could just use a normal one. If you want to leave a word of encouragement, then you can go with this one.
I will tell you, like, it's a little sad that when they show, like, the kids that are playing with it, I'm pretty sure this is a 4-year-old girl. I'm pretty sure it is.
It's very, very young people-ish.
Well, you know what? High five, little girl.
It helps
you
to
and me.
foster.
You and me.
It helps to foster early brain development.
I could. You know what?
Yay!
My brain's a little underdeveloped. It could use.
It could use a little bit more.
It could use a little boost.
Well, if you want, those are there.
All right, whatever. 21 Pilots.
It's not whatever.
It is whatever. It is.
All right.
Hey, I'll be back. I need to write Nikki an encouraging note. Apparently, she's facing some hardships at work.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I hope you weren't planning a buffet vacation. Because the rest
that's
of
a cruise, isn't it?
Oh, actually, yeah.
Or Vegas.
Everywhere there's a buffet is closed now. Just a heads up.
Well, that should have been because there's a lot of health issues with, not because you're overeating, but just because that's where you get a lot of stuff.
You know what? Okay, look, we're gonna get through this, guys. All right, as a nation, as a people, we're gonna make it. We are.
Well, that'll help.
You did it. It was the turning point.
It was the turning point.
But I was just thinking, like, when we're back, when it's all back, you know what we need to do?
This is all a memory.
We need to go back to Buffet Club. We haven't Buffet Club in a long time.
Because it got so gross.
I know. But you know what? We're going to reach that point where we're just grateful for anything. And then
right
Buffet
now,
Club
when do
will
we
be
want
ready.
It? Right now. And how do we want to eat it? With a lot of choices.
Like, what kind of quality do we want?
Not so good. Man, we used to go, and it was just so bad. And
you'd regret it for days.
You wish they would turn the lights down so like you weren't seeing everything, and you can't look down on the floor because it's all dirty.
Whatever. Like,
so that's why.
You know, until someone would.
Are you going to say it? Are you going to say it? Or should you not say it?
I'm not going to say it.
What do you think?
Something happened in the parking lot, and then something happened in the kitchen there.
Well,
and
we stopped going too because the one person, someone got shot at like one of them, and
that was the thing I wasn't saying. But yeah, you're right. Someone died in the parking lot.
I don't know if they died, but they were shot.
They got shot, and I just felt like, man, if anybody's getting shot at Golden Corral, it's going to end up being me.
We didn't say the place.
Oh, sorry. We didn't give the location. They're a nationwide chain. You don't have to worry about it.
Currently, right now, I mean, that they're not open, but you have that, or you have like Vegas. A lot of Vegas stuff closed down.
It's now
or cruise ships would be the only buffet things.
It's official now. Vegas is like
all of it shut down.
Yeah, because they had originally it was like the Bellagio and the MGM and all that stuff. They had closed down. Now it's all the casinos are closed. And that just came from the Nevada governor. That was sometime yesterday. That no more.
Well, it makes sense because you get a lot of people traveling, which is what you're supposed to really watch when everybody's coming together.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't wash your hands when you've been drinking.
Ridiculous.
Or gambling.
I can't hear you.
So I don't know if at casinos they uphold that everything we're supposed to be doing now with the hand sanitizer and washing our hands.
You know what? They can't hear you either.
They can't. Look, I'm going to scratch my eye now. I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to scratch my eye. Ah, that feels good. You're not supposed to do it. Don't touch my face. Okay.
Fight the power.
Fight it. Fight the urge.
Man, today I'm going to lay out a buffet and rub my eyes.
At home, it's the only thing you can do in the privacy of your own home.
You can't tell me that I can't have a buffet and an eye scratch. You walk past Nikki's place, you look in the window, and there's like 40 different dishes out, and she's just rubbing her eyes,
touching my face, and we're using toilet paper for napkins because we all bought a bunch.
Don't flush them.
You could just use the waiter. Oh, all right. So Vegas is closed. Is that all that we spent that time to talk about?
That was it. That
was it.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
So I have a friend of mine who is a plumber, and my thought was, man, that's probably not a great time to be a plumber because all these people are, now wait. Nikki, I saw that look because all these people are at home and whatever and like social distancing. They don't want you in their house. And I said that to him and he's like, well, right now, like right this very minute, not the best. He's like, but within 1 week, I'm going to be printing my own money.
I know why.
He didn't say exactly that.
But pretty much.
But that's how I took it, even though that's not what he said. And he basically said, everybody went to the store to buy toilet paper. When the toilet paper was gone, they started buying things like paper towels. He's like, paper towels do not flush well.
Now, they might flush for you. Like you think that they're flushing well, but then
they're not.
They stop once you can't see it anymore. It causes problems in between.
And then eventually you're like, I don't understand why there's all this water on the floor.
Like what's wrong? I saw someone, they were just casually talking. They're like, yeah, I just used Kleenex. And I was like, wait a minute. I think even that causes problems too.
It's not a good choice. Not a good choice.
And you just haven't experienced the problems from it yet because it can ruin even a neighborhood system.
Right. And so look at that. Man, my phone's already going off.
They said, shh, that's big paper.
Yeah, but no, he's like, it won't be long. He said if people keep flushing napkins, toilet or paper towels, et cetera, he's like, I'm going to start getting lots of phone calls.
You will need them to come.
Lots of phone calls.
Oh, yeah. That's just something to remember. But people in their moment of panic, who knows what happened?
Well, that is nobody wants to hear this, but you don't flush those.
You should have told people that like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we're a little late on that.
Okay. You know what? You're probably right. But I'll have to tell you, I have laughed and laughed over it because it's just like, man, that's messed up, dude. And I mean, I didn't feel like he was being mean about it.
Sure.
But he was just like.
Well, this goes back to, did we learn things in school that would help us?
Hey.
Like, did we all learn this, or were we all supposed to figure this out earlier?
Man, this is a freaking PSA for you, okay?
You might not have ever known that.
I'm just telling you, you don't want to flush those things. It can be bad. Very,
like, well, what if you don't have
bad.
anything? That's also bad, but this is a different level of bad.
So here's Randall, who is a plumber that listens to our show, and he says they really don't. They just expand and clog.
Yeah, so they just stay there.
Yeah.
Well, again, just a little heads up on another problem you might have. Just to be aware.
Just letting you know. He says even Kleenex does not break down properly. That's the weird thing. Just while we're on, I'll just tell you, toilet paper actually is designed to break apart. And you think about a paper towel, what do they brag? It can soak up all this water and never break apart.
Well, that's the opposite of what you want.
See what I'm saying? Just
it's a good lesson.
Just
good
letting you know.
Lesson right here.
All right.
This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I see that GameStop made a little bit of an announcement today that I'm just going to be honest, I don't really care about.
Well, I mean,
don't say that. Don't say that.
Others might care more, not necessarily about what they were canceling. When you first saw it, you think, oh, is it Animal Crossing or Doom? But they're not canceling the releases of that. They're just canceling their midnight events that they would have for game releases. They're not doing anything like that.
Right. So I'm not trolling, I swear, but like I didn't even know they were still doing midnight launches for stuff. I just felt.
Is it where they just open early, or
you
just go and hang out
at midnight? You go wait in line, and then you get the thing that you're waiting on. I mean, I'm not saying I've never been a part of one. I have, but it just feels like something that's so 2005. And do people even buy Madden anymore?
Do you even? So
bro?
Are they going to still open up at midnight, but like no real events, or is it just normal store hours? They're just saying though no events.
Nope, they're saying no events. They are saying that if you want to get it, well, okay, you can do the online event.
Well, yeah, sure,
and it'll just unlock at midnight.
Easy.
But if you
if you want to go out, it was maybe fun to meet other Doom or Animal Crossing friends.
Hey, look, Nikki and I loved it. I will tell you, there was a time when we would go for New Release Tuesday every Tuesday, buy things we didn't need with money we didn't really have.
Those were the fun days.
Enjoy the camaraderie of all being there together.
So GameStop has said until further notice, basically just like every other place, they want to maintain health and safety for guests and associates. So for the foreseeable future, there's no going to be any late night launch events, and there's also going to be no demo stations at the stores.
Okay.
So you can't demo a game anymore.
Sorry. If you were wanting to.
If you were wanting to, but Animal Crossing is still going to be released on Friday, so no one panic on that.
That's the part that has me panicked.
I know, everybody was worried.
Animal Crossing and Doom, they're both supposed to show up at my house on Friday, so fingers crossed.
It's nice when you get both sides. Doom and
well,
it's Doom Crossing. It's a new game.
The thing is, Nikki, I have to save the Earth. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. And then when I'm done saving the Earth, I'm gonna
enjoy
go
your town
fishing, and I'm gonna grow
in
things,
real time.
And I'm gonna, there's a lot of things. So it's both. Like I'm cleansing and then cultivating.
Hey, what's great is, I don't know, maybe people will get more addicted, but for Animal Crossing, it is real time. So it used to be where you would take a break, like if you had classes or you'd go to work. But now, since those aren't being monitored, you could just do it all at home. All day.
All day
long.
I wonder. I don't know.
I want to see the hours. Like, is Nintendo showing up an increase?
They have to. Like, so many people are pumped about Animal Crossing. So, and I mean, well, it's fine. It's going to be great, Nikki. It's going to be great.
So that's coming up on Friday.
Mm-hmm. But don't go Thursday night.
Nope, there's going to be nothing there for you.
You'll find the lights off and the GameStop sign there. That's probably something we should get used to.
Oh, just nothing being open anymore?
No, just GameStop not making it.
Well, people have been waiting on the countdown on that, so I don't think this is too much of a surprise.
I still like going in there.
I know, but you never would buy anything when you go in.
I'd never buy anything.
So that's the problem.
I just like to go in and
You're
look
not
around.
allowed to just go and look around anymore.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So, was it yesterday or 2 days ago that the guys at Digital Foundry had that in-depth look at the Xbox Series X? Was it yesterday?
No, I think it was Monday, or was it last Friday?
It wasn't last week. I know that for sure.
Then it was
feels
Monday.
like last week, but it wasn't. Okay. Well, today is our day if you're looking forward to a PlayStation 5, because today, I believe at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific, the peeps at Sony are going to give what they say is an in-depth look at the PlayStation 5.
So it will be them doing it, or did someone get the exclusivity to it?
Well, from what I've read, it's going to be on the PlayStation blog, and so therefore it must be, okay, it doesn't have to be, but I believe it to be them that will be doing that themselves. I saw that Digital Foundry, and again, they're an online outlet that's part of Eurogamer and all of that. You're like, and the blah, 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 just, it's fine.
Those people.
But then I also saw like one or two other YouTube channels that Microsoft invited in, and they were able to actually touch the Xbox One, play with it, or excuse me, the Xbox Series X, and play with it and all that kind of stuff.
Well, if you go to Radio U Riot on our Facebook page and you look back to Monday's postings, that's when you posted a link. If you missed seeing the Xbox, the new one, its specs.
Well, the PlayStation 5 has been in some ways shrouded in mystery. We don't know what it looks like, so I'm kind of hoping today we'll get an actual look at what it looks like.
What it's supposed to be?
And then also, what can it do? Xbox, I feel like, has been way more upfront about what it looks like, what they're building, what their selling points are, a lot of those kinds of things. But Sony has been a lot more tight-lipped about it. Now,
do you feel like consoles, though, are pretty much the same like when phones do these? Like there's only so much you can do. You can make it a little faster and a little fancier, but it's not like anything really innovative left.
Well, probably, and I don't mean this offensively, probably to somebody like you, meaning that it's not really your thing.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, you're like, what? It's just whatever. But to somebody like me, no. There's lots.
There's lots of, but it's not like an obvious, like a huge change. I wish there would be like design changes and stuff, but maybe not as much.
It's one of those things that, like, on the surface, some of the stuff looks like who cares? But one of the things they're talking about is ray tracing with graphics, and that does, if you look at the demos, it makes a big difference. I don't know. We'll see in practice. But the other thing that's kind of a big deal is when you see stuff like they upgrade the processor and different things, it may not be about the graphics looking better or even loading that much faster, but it can be about things like now all of a sudden, instead of there being 50 people on the screen, there can be 500 people on the screen. And you start looking at things like that, and those are places where numbers don't really tell the story, but you end up with a very different end product, and they can do things they couldn't do before. So it depends. At the end of the day, like, yes, it's just a game. It's just a game console. At the end of the day, yes, I care about it, and I really want one.
Again, just like with our phones, even if they don't make much changes, it doesn't matter. You still want a new one when it comes out.
So the other thing here is, like, I just want to know, like, kind of what you're saying. There is part of me that's just like, look, what do you got that's so much better this time around? Well, today they're going to try to answer that question.
Well, you should post it later when the details come out on our Facebook page. But like I said, if you go back to Monday, you'll see the new Xbox specs. If you go back to yesterday, you'll see our Manifest interview. So if you go to Radio U Riot on Facebook, and then today, later, will be the PlayStation specs.
All right.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, yesterday I was pretty stupid. And you're like, what? Just yesterday?
You did walk into that one.
Have you been listening to the show today?
Do you even know yourself?
Do you even stupid, bro? So yesterday I went to Costco and, took in a couple of fights in the parking lot, and then,
It's not that bad, but everybody's just kind of weird.
It was. The interaction that I had with people in general was super weird. And I was trying to very intentionally slow myself down because it's, one of the things I would tell you if we talked about your public speaking, I would say intentionally talk slow because you're going to get nervous. And then when you get nervous and you're trying to be slow, it'll probably come out normal, right? Well, that's how I felt in the story yesterday. I was like, I'm going to try to be slow and hopefully I'll just come out normal. So I'm trying to move around, but like there was a nervous energy that people had that the last time I experienced it was when I was trying to get on some of the last flights out of Florida when a hurricane was coming.
People were saying if you're not in an area where hurricanes happen, you don't know that feeling, but it's very similar to when there's an evacuation or if you're going to stay or if you're in an area that can get a really bad snowstorm right before it. It's that same energy.
And people are always like, oh, I'd never act that way. I'd never do that. You've never been in circumstances like that because I'm telling you, yesterday I did something that I didn't think I would do, and that was I bought Clorox wipes. And it was just like,
in case.
I was just like, well, I'll just take them. I don't know. They don't have that many left. I better get them. And I will probably, there's like a 90-day return policy. I just get this feeling
that you'll return them.
They're going to end up going back, right? One of the things that struck me about my time in the store, though, is like there was, there's all these people, there's all this stuff, and there was this kid. I don't know how old they were, 3, whatever. But they're like in this cart, and they just start crying, and there's like, ah! And my first reaction was
same
that. No, my first reaction was that's what this situation needs. Screaming, crying kids. That's only going to help. And then it occurred to me, I'm like, no. This is the only honest person in the room right now. This kid is completely dialed in to the nervous energy and all the things that are going on in here. They don't know how to handle it. The only way that they're handling it is crying, but they just don't know what to do about it. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, it's all right, kid.
You can cry.
Cry if you need to cry, right? But, as adults, it's funny. We do the exact same thing. It depends on the person, but watch. You watch when you get nervous or upset or whatever. I'll bet you've got a coping mechanism that you don't know about. That kid's crying. You might be drinking. Like, I laugh a little bit, but have you ever thought about it? Like, have you ever thought about how that, like, you do whatever and then you find this is your way that you cope? For some people, it's cleaning. I have a friend of mine. I talked to her. She's like, yeah, I've scrubbed. Like, I started in a corner and with a toothbrush and, like, I've scrubbed my entire apartment. I'm like, yeah, it's Tuesday, right? Like, you've been in there for 36 hours.
Not the whole time you think.
Like,
but that's how you feel better because you can have control over that.
You have a cope. Like, that's the kind of thing that happens. And I'm throwing this out there to think about is that there are some coping mechanisms that are not good. There are some that are okay.
Well,
and then some that might actually be good.
You're in the time where you might have some that you didn't even know and they'll be emerging.
Oh, no, it's real. Like, it's absolutely real. So you know what? Here's what you need to do. You need to take a minute and some of the stuff that you're going to be tempted to do, think about it. Because one of the things about coping mechanisms like that is if you stop and think, sometimes you cope by not dealing with it and you'd be better off dealing with it. That kid in the store, in some ways, it wasn't just coping. They were actually dealing with it. They were nervous and scared. They were surrounded by people that were nervous and scared, but they were only one kind of expressing it. You know what? Take some time and express it. Talk to a friend. Grab a journal. Write it out. Think about what you're feeling, why you're feeling it. And instead of doing something really negative with it, that then you have to deal with those bad feelings and those consequences, do something constructive, even if it's just writing it down or having a conversation. But get honest with yourself. And you know what? If you need to have a cry, the middle of the store is probably not a great place for it. But, you got a car.
No one will. Well, if not, no one will say anything. I think nowadays, I think you'll be fine to go ahead.
Truth be told, I'd just be like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't touch you, but I would tell you I was sorry. Because we're not supposed to touch each other.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
A lot of people I've been hearing are just like, man, please. Just give me a piece of news that doesn't revolve around the coronavirus. Can you talk to me about anything
besides that?
It does not involve COVID-19, and I want you to know that I have it right here. I have heard your cries, and I am ready to deliver.
What do you got?
Meghan and Harry are shopping for a house in L.A.
Oh, we didn't mean, though, that. I know we really don't want any virus talk, but we didn't mean we want royal talk. That was the previous virus talk.
Well, to be clear,
you get what you get,
weren't
guys.
Specific.
Oh, no more talk about them.
You said, please, somebody give me something other than the virus talk.
No thanks.
And here we go. Harry and Meghan right now looking for houses in L.A. because they'd like to start, maybe a production studio. Boy, she really married up, right? Think about this. She's a star on a...
Oh, wait. But everybody going into it was acting like she was such a well-known Hollywood actor and stuff when she wasn't.
Exactly.
She became that afterwards. That's just what they always said. But to us, most of us didn't even know who she was.
Clueless who she was. She marries some guy, gets him to completely abandon his status, his whatever, and moves back. And now she's a power mover in Hollywood. It's like, what? Come on. I'm sorry, but see, we're not talking about this because we're not going to talk about it.
No, we're not talking about that.
We're not going to talk about it. So
I still think we should put then no virus talk for a bit and no, we're not going back to any royal talk.
Well, I'm running out of stuff.
I know there's not much else.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Now, I don't have any proof that this works. Everybody says it works. I don't know. Have you tried Netflix Party or no?
Is that the Chrome extension you were talking about?
It's the Chrome extension, yeah. So here's the idea. You got your laptop, your computer, your whatever. You want to watch Netflix with friends, but you try to do it over the phone. You're trying to sync up the audio, whatever. Netflix Party.
You kept wanting to call it Friends.
I do. I keep wanting to call it Netflix and Friends. That's not what it is.
No.
Netflix Party is an extension for the Chrome internet browser, which, I use it. It's a RAM hog, but I use it anyway. And you install it, you log into Netflix, and you and friends can sync up your Netflix and have a chat
while you're watching it.
So,
but it's just a chat, or is it video chat?
It's not video chat. Just text. But isn't that what you want anyway?
That'll work. You can always just have FaceTime or something else going over to the side, but at least you're syncing at the same time.
Also true. Or, again, it's just like texting a friend. So you're watching a movie together, you're texting. Maybe you don't want to talk.
They're saying that this is the troubling times for people who are dating, who are especially like in the beginning stages of dating where you'd go like to a movie or something.
Right.
Where you're not maybe comfortable
or dinner,
enough.
Or coffee.
Like you don't have any of that anymore, but you're not necessarily comfortable enough going over to the house and like spending time there.
Right.
So this would be a nice way to kind of mimic having a movie date.
Could do that. The other thing you could think about is you could just go for a walk at the park.
Well, what if you're not ready for that yet, too?
Not ready for that either.
That actually seems a bit too much for like a couple of dates in.
Maybe they could come calling to your parents' house and you could go for a stroll around the block and your mother or father could walk just a few paces behind you.
You'd like to take a walk around the room. It does feel really old. Like if you're just trying to find someone to date, this is really hard.
Well, I've done a long distance relationship before. What we did was I know this is old fashioned, but like we did the letter writing thing. But we did it through email. And the idea was, we still talked, but it was like, hey, let's try long form communication and see how it goes. And that was actually a lot of fun.
Always start with a postcard if you're not ready for long letters.
Well, no. But you could write it in an email.
Yeah,
so the idea was just like something that would be longer than 150 characters.
So you can do the Netflix Party Chrome extension. If you want to watch with your friends or make a date or something, you just do it that way.
I don't know. Seems reasonable.
It's a good idea.
Have you tried it?
I have not tried to sync up a movie with friends for a couple of years, so I've not tried this one.
Well, I just meant, so you haven't tried this extension?
No, I haven't used it.
All right, I'm going to install it. You and I, this is what
we're doing. You
want
to watch something?
We're doing this tonight.
You should.
We should. And then we can yell at each other about what we're going to watch.
How many can you have in the party? Or is it just between you and one person? Or
you can have several people on it. Join Netflix Party. I don't know. It doesn't say, but I was under the impression, and again, I don't see it on the page. I should have known, but I think it's 8 people.
8 people is what you think?
I think. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's not. Like, you'll have to take a look at it and figure it out, but Why
Good
not?
idea. Might as well try it.
I think I might try this. See if but that'd be kind of fun. See if you could just get some friends and be like, all right, today at 3:00, we're going to watch Spider-Man Into the Whatever.
That's your pick. That's his first pick for the movie for our Netflix watch party.
Well, truth be told, I was trying to think of something that would be like, I think that's probly accessible for a lot of people.
That's fine. That'd be good for the party.
Okay. We could, or you know what? Do you want to watch Stop Us Some Stranger Things?
That could be good too.
We're not doing it.
No, maybe.
We're not doing it.
We'll see.
It's not
I'm getting the extension right now.
Whatever.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good.
Wait, isn't that exactly what it means?
It's The Riot on Radio U.
Now, Nikki, I need you to, oh boy, I need you to help me with this. Because
you're right there?
Well, you're my resident TikTok expert.
Yeah, sure.
And you sent me a TikTok, what was it, last night or 2 nights ago, of a dog named Rudy watching the movie Rudy.
And he was so confused. He gets up and goes to the movie because it's when they chant Rudy.
Yeah, it was funny. Now, saw that. Okay, what about the coronavirus challenge?
Which
the girl
one?
Licking the toilet seat.
I haven't
in
seen
the plane.
that one.
How can you have not seen this?
And I watch a lot of TikTok. I've seen people who go and buy Corona, like they're all on sale. But I haven't seen the seat thing.
Nikki means the beer.
The beer, yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Look at what I just sent you. I need you to.
I signed out everywhere. I'll grab it over here.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
It's a girl in an airplane bathroom licking a toilet seat.
Well, what does it have to do with the Corona thing?
She just calls it the coronavirus challenge.
Well, I think a lot of people just use the hashtag.
Right. Yeah. So.
That is so gross. And people, this had been something before, though. Licking toilet seats on an airplane has been a thing. In the online world, where you're just trying to get attention.
What a great sentence.
It's...
I mean, just to be clear, did you think that Nikki was going to say licking toilet seats on airlines has been a thing?
No.
That is not what I expected you to say.
This is what, like, when your parents are like, we shouldn't do things for just to get attention. You know, like when they're talking to you about social media and you learned about privacy.
You don't send pictures like that to people.
When you learned about, internet safety when you were younger, it's like, this is an example of it. You don't need to lick a toilet seat to get followers, but that's what people do.
Well, your parents... I always love to see stuff where your parents probably didn't think they needed to talk to you about that. Mm. They're like, you know what? He's smart. He's a good boy, Floyd.
He's not doing things like this.
He's not going to lick a toilet seat. I mean...
Even without the Corona thing, you don't lick a toilet seat.
Why on this earth would we need to tell him not to put his mouth where, we don't need to tell him. Oh, gosh.
Oh, now we got to tell him. So this is airplane toilet seats.
Bring him in.
Which I try not to sit on anyway, so you're fine.
Nikki won't even think about that. Nikki won't even sit on it.
I'm not even going in there, let alone sitting down on it.
Oh, boy.
So I've not seen those TikToks yet.
You haven't? Okay.
I've seen all the... Maybe my feed just thinks, she likes dog videos. Just send those to her.
They might be like, you know what? She's above this. She's hovering above it, but she's above it.
Because you're not supposed to actually sit down on the seat, because then your bottom could get viruses. You don't want to even sit down on it.
Could be a thing.
All right. Well, thanks for telling me about it. Now I know that you've told me. That's all I'm going to get.
I just want you to know that what I expected you to say was, oh, yeah, it's fake. That's what I thought you were going to do to me. I thought for sure you were going to come back at me and say,
Nope, it's there and they're real. And that's been around for a while. They're just using this hashtag.
Oh, boy.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Release the Butthole Cut.